Hi everybody, it's Carla from Casey Creates, and I'm wondering if anyone would like to join me on what I think could be a really fun crafters tag. I have had a little extra time this weekend because we got a day off from school due to weather again. And so I was digging through my crafting supplies and trying to make a little more organization. As I did, I found some items that really brought on some memories, and I was thinking, I really love our crafting community, and we don't make videos if we'll rarely make videos if we don't have like a project to share or a VR. And I still love hearing more about the people in our crafting community and getting to know you better. So I thought it'd be fun to start a tag and share crafting memories that are spurred on from crafting items or actual craft projects. And you know how sort of a music will bring on a memory or a smell could bring on a memory? Well, I think crafting items and craft projects can bring on a memory of people from our past or even in our present that either helped shape who we are or brings on good memories. And so I thought I would share 3 crafting items that really had me thinking about people over the last day or two. And maybe you'd like to join me after you see what I'm talking about. For instance, the first item is this roll of tape. It's kind of psychedelic with paisley prints, and this tape is really old. It came out long before washi tape was popular, and I have held on to this for many, many years because it reminds me of my very best friend, and we lost her to brain cancer, and it's going to be about 15 years ago now. We were friends since I was 11 years old, and we went through all kinds of mischief together and fun giggles together and shopping, and this woman was extraordinary. She worked 3 jobs because she was a shopaholic. She could shop till she dropped. She had impeccable taste in clothes and fashion, and she was world traveled and spoke 3 languages and was just a treasure to call my best friend. Now, we traveled quite a bit in the country, but my biggest regret is that I never got to travel out of the country with her, because if I had gone with her, well, I have gone out of the country, but traveling with her, I would have felt perfectly safe because she had traveled so many places. But anyway, this tape reminds me of her because she would go to the Dollar Tree when Dollar Tree was rather new, and she'd get so excited about the embellishments and all the things you could get there so cheap. And so she bought, like, I don't know how many rolls of this tape. And she would always buy at least 3 in each color or pattern in case it was no longer going to be sold. And this is one of them. And I just thought this one was so pretty. It had all these fun kind of boho vibe colors and the paisley. And every now and then I'll pull a little piece off to stick something down, but I'm very frugal with it because it's very special to me to still have this roll of tape, because I remember the day she came over and dumped her bag of Dollar Tree treasures on the table, and there were little things for my son, who's now 23, but I think he was like 1 or 2 at the time. And there was always things she just had to come and share and show us. Oh my gosh, Carl, look what I got. This was $1, and look at this. And actually, I do think that many years ago, some of the items were better than they are now. I don't know, maybe not, but I loved that this roll of tape made me think of her and some of the fond memories that we had. So that's one crafting item. The next one, it makes me think of my sweet mom, because this was one of the folders I found when we were going through my mom's things. And I know this is really old because my mom Though she was, in her 80s, she never let technology get ahead of her. So had she done this in the last 10 years or so, this would have been printed on a label from her computer, but this is in her own handwriting. So I know that this folder is quite old. She taught us to recycle and reuse, and I can tell she reused this folder because there's a label on the back that says miscellaneous activities. That's not her handwriting. So she clearly was reusing this file folder. And inside there's all these vibrant colors of cardstock. My mother loved paper, and she made all her own greeting cards that we're all blessed to own. And she also put her own verses and rhymes on the inside, always loaded with scripture to encourage us. And like I said, always vibrant colors. She would use the Hallmark Greetings Card Workshop. I guess they were called CD-ROMs back then. Anyway, she made sure hers was always updated. So I was really excited to find this folder in her handwriting with the bright colors that I know she loves, like this really pretty purple colored magenta color. Purple was her favorite color. So that one came about from going through my paper supply. I'm going to save that. I don't know when I'll use those bright colors, but I'm really happy to have them. Another memory is this vintage wallpaper. And I did find this also going through Mom's things, but this was more than a year ago. And this brings on the memory of growing up with my twin sister and girlfriends in our neighborhood. We lived in the same neighborhood for our entire childhood and had some of the best girlfriends. And the winters were really cold, and so there wasn't a lot to do outside. Even though we did brave the outdoors and stay a long time in the snow, Mom allowed us to use one of the rooms in our attic and decorate it into a clubhouse for the girls. That would be my twin sister and then any girlfriends that could come over to play. And the attic was this old attic. Our house was one of those old historic homes, so the attic was tall. And they even said that one of the rooms in the attic was supposedly a maid's quarter at one point. But Mom let us wallpaper the walls, and the wallpaper was very similar to this pattern. We called it the Little Women's Social Club. Now, the wallpapering job was horrible, but you couldn't have told us that. We thought it was fabulous. And we painted the moldings of the windows this green. It was supposed to be a little subtle green, but it ended up being like this bright Kelly green. But we thought it was beautiful. And we could have, we did have tea parties and parties, and we'd play games, and the ceilings were high enough that we could even jump rope, which probably wasn't a good idea, seeing that we were above everyone's head down below. But Mom always seemed to be very patient and tolerant because, like I said, it was too cold to play outside. So this vintage wallpaper that I just came across organizing all my scraps of paper reminded me of the times that we could play in the attic in our Little Women's Social Club. And then just to tack on to that story, about 12 years ago, I drove back around to where the house that we grew up in was, because by coincidence, well, maybe it wasn't a coincidence, but more of a God thing. The person who owned it was the ex-husband of a friend of mine, and she said, you know, I bet he'd let you go in and look around, which was just so exciting to me to go see the house that I grew up in. And so he did, and it was still very much the same in the back of the house. The front had been very much remodeled, but he let me go in the attic. Well, the attic didn't look anything like I remembered it, and it was cut off where they had walled off the part of it and just made it into like a little one-room den. But I saw this little door that was kind of like a hatch door, cellar door maybe, And I said, oh, is there anything back there? And he goes, yeah, the rest of the attic, but we didn't remodel that. It's still the same. Well, he let us go through and literally thought I was going to cry. Everything was frozen in time. The walls there had been a fire, and some of the walls still had the charred wood. It was very unfinished except for the 2 separate rooms. And when I went in the room, the wallpaper was still on the walls, and the sign it was on the other side of the door that said Little Women's Social Club. I'm still amazed when I tell the story. So I took pictures. Back then my phone was really old, and so the pictures are stuck on my old phone that I don't even really know where the charger is. But at some point I'm going to hope to get those pictures back, or maybe go back over when I'm back in Wisconsin and take pictures. But anyway, that's a long story to say this vintage wallpaper brought back some really fond memories. And so, you know, sometimes songs or smells or items don't bring back fond memories. They might bring back sad memories, but memories nonetheless. And I was very excited to just think about sharing some of the memories to keep memories alive. And even if maybe this doesn't catch on, my family and friends can watch these videos and remember some of the things that I'm remembering with you today. But I do hope that it catches on, and instead of just naming people that I'd like to tag, I think it'd be fun if we just decide on our own if and when we'd like to join the tag, because believe it or not, you guys give me my viewing pleasure, because I don't always find things that I want to watch on television, and I feel like I just press the button on Netflix over and over and then end up, you know, logging out because I can't really find things. So I love hearing from you though, and hearing your stories. So if you get time and you can participate in the 3 crafting memories tag, please do. If you do tag someone individually, just let them know you tagged them, and that way they can decide if they'd like to participate. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to my memories. And I hope you'll share. I'll be looking for your videos soon. Have a happy day.